Okay, so in this video we have a pretty short video. It's a time lapse, most of it, of us dragging this old machine out of a cedar thicket back over there. Just a quick rundown of the video. At the beginning of it, my grandson, 9-year-old grandson, will be running the machine. He's moving a little bit of brush around, and we're trying to burn some old cedars that have just taken the place over back in here around all of our scrap and junk. Anyway, we eventually dig that machine out of the cedar thicket back over there and get it pulled out to where it is now. And if you want to hang around and watch the time lapse of that, we'll take a look at that tractor here in just a second when I get down there. So we made it down here. Let's just take a second and walk around this thing, and got a few stories to tell, like most old tractors. Family for quite a while. So let's look it over here a little bit. I researched these old John Deere 70s online, and looks like there's about 41,000 of them made back in the day. This thing's about a 1956, and it's an LP, which you don't see a lot of anymore. according to the research I done, there was 6,618 of these made. And then of course the others was a mixture of either gas or diesel fuel out of the 41,000, but there was 3,000, about 3,000 all fuel made. I'm not sure what that was. That's new to me, but so there were several of them made. This was just a pretty powerful old tractor when we used it. It pulled the brush hog a lot. Used a concrete mixer behind it quite a bit. I think it pulled a disc some. My dad was pretty proud of it when he got it going. He was brush hogging one day out in some heavy brush, and this tire over here ran up on a stump that was covered by a old briar patch, and I guess it was probably the stump of the tire on the other side would have been what it was. Anyway, it reared up on that side and laid over on this side. Put this hood all in, had to replace the muffler. And he just landed underneath it, wasn't hurt at all, walked away. Kind of spooked him a little, but nothing ever seemed to bother him too much. He just wanted it rolled over so he could keep brush hogging. It's kind of the way he was. He switched this over to 12 volt, looks like. I'm afraid it's... Yeah, that turns... Not sure what'll be froze up on that. Seems like it's trying to turn up here. I don't know, just gonna have to dig into it a little deeper and see and figure out what to do with it. Kinda got a lot of memories with it. We bought this, so he bought it. My dad did, coming back from, I think we'd been to Knoxville, Tennessee at the World Fair. Just me and him, and coming through a little town in southern Missouri. I believe it's Houston, Missouri. We drove by a guy's shop that had all kinds of tractors and junk, it looked like to me at that time, but it was just something that caught my dad's eye, that all the tractors and equipment sitting there. And we stopped in there, went around, came back to that place and stopped in there, and he started talking to that guy, and we was there 4 or 5 hours, and he finally bought this tractor. And the motor was apart on it, it needed rebuilt, a few other things, but he could manage most anything. He was kind of a tinkerer of engines and fabricating and doing whatever he needed to do to survive. He's pretty good at doing those things. He finally reached an agreement with this guy, and I think he gave him $600 for it at that time. I could be wrong, but it's the way I remember it. It didn't have any guards over here on the fender wells. He dug up some junk pipe and scrap and welded them up. He capped one of them off, rounded it off and capped it, and then he got anxious to use the thing and never did do the others, so it only has the one that's capped. It didn't have a 3-point hitch, which is what he wanted, and he built the brackets all down in there for that, and the arms just all out of scrap stuff he had laying around. And I don't know where the arms are down below. Probably around here somewhere. But he had it all working good. 3-point worked good on it, and PTO all worked. It was a good brush hogging tractor. But it's a pretty neat old rig. Just got to figure out what to do with it now. Got it out of the brush anyhow, so anyway, appreciate you spending some time looking at it with me. Maybe we'll have another old tractor or two to dig out here before long. Y'all have a good one.